We've always believed that African infrastructure needs African capital to get that done. And we've seen the evolution of the pension funds, in fact, working with AFC, in that today we have about 11% of our shareholding base that is made up of African pension funds. And so for us, we believe that it continues to be critical for us to be here, to continue the dialogue, because we think that the potential is enormous and vast. We've been able to grow our business sustainably over the last 18 years, been profitable. We've done $19 billion of investments across 36 African countries, and we've shown and demonstrated to our shareholders that infrastructure as an alternative asset class is sustainable. Today, AFC is basically the lead partner for the Lobito Corridor investments, where we're developing that whole corridor between Angola, Zambia, and DRC, which is obviously going to unlock a lot of growth for those countries in that corridor. We've also invested in infra credit, which has helped to unlock pension fund capital, primarily in Nigeria, because that vehicle allows us to credit enhance infrastructure assets, right? So being the road infrastructure and things like that, we're able to credit enhance that, and that has opened up the envelope for pension funds to be able to invest, which hitherto they wouldn't have done. We've only just touched the iceberg, right? And we're looking to unlock more of that capital, because once that happens, there's going to be a ripple effect, because I think once we can demonstrate that African capital is working for Africa, then only are we able to catalyze more liquidity coming from outside of Africa as well. So I think that it's going to be exponential if we're able to continue to grow the pie across Africa. I think, Mauritius is critical, right? And I mean, the reason why we continue to convene here, because Mauritius has always been a gateway to allow for capital, not only African capital, but international capital, as a pivotal place where all of that capital sort of flows and goes into investments in Africa, because the environment and the ecosystem that has been developed is conducive enough for investors to feel comfortable, the regulatory environment and the regime, and some of the benefits associated with making, having investments and companies open up here, I think has been critical, right? And so the reason we continue to, use Mauritius as a gateway is because it helps to unlock that capital globally to allow for us to continue these investments in Africa. I think they've done a good job. I mean, they've been doing this for the last 11 years consistently. Obviously, we've seen tangible impact for us, because when we started the conversation, we really didn't have a lot of the pension funds invested in AFC, but over time we've seen several, and as I said, 11% of that our shareholder base has been pension funds. And I think this conference allows us to have the dialogue, right? To be able to translate some of the learnings, to be able to meet the various people within the ecosystem that need to be educated on why we should be making those investments in Africa and using African liquidity. So I think it's a great place to be at such a time as this, yeah.